The immortal tribe in the Bible, hidden by God for thousands of years. There are whispers in the Bible of a truth too dangerous to be spoken, a secret so profound that it threatens to rewrite everything we know about human existence. For centuries, we have believed in one inescapable law: all must die. Kings, prophets, warriors and saints, no one has escaped the passage of time. But what if that was never meant to be? Scattered throughout the scriptures are clues, traces of those who never died, who vanished into the unknown. Enoch walked with God and was taken. Elijah ascended in a chariot of fire. Melchizedek appeared without birth, without death, without past. The Nephilim were wiped from history, yet some believe their presence lingers. And in the final days, Revelation speaks of 144,000 chosen ones who will never taste death. These are not random stories. They are part of something bigger, fragments of a hidden lineage, a tribe untouched by death, preserved by God for a purpose yet to be revealed. In the beginning, before sin entered the world, humans were not created to die. Adam and Eve walked in perfect harmony with God in the Garden of Eden, untouched by time. Death was not part of his original design. Genesis 3:22 reveals something shocking. Then the Lord God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life, and eat, and live forever." This verse suggests something unsettling. Immortality was still within reach. Had Adam and Eve eaten from the tree of life after their fall, they would have lived forever. But God intervened. Why? What was he trying to prevent? If eternal life was possible, could someone else have discovered its secret? Could there be those who, instead of succumbing to death, were set apart, hidden from the fate of mankind? The Bible gives us glimpses of such individuals, chosen ones who never died, whose existence remains a mystery. If they exist, where are they now? Are they hidden in another realm, preserved until the appointed time? Or have they been living among us all along? One man in particular holds the first key to this mystery, a man who never tasted death, a man who vanished into the unknown. What if Enoch never truly left? What if he's still among us? The truth is far more shocking than you can imagine. Stay with us as we uncover the mystery of Enoch, the first mortal to escape death, and perhaps the first member of the Immortal Tribe. Do you believe in the Immortal Tribe? The first immortal. There is a name whispered in the pages of the Bible, a man who never tasted death, whose fate defies all human understanding: Enoch. Genesis 5:24 states, "Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him." No death, no burial, no explanation. One day he simply ceased to exist among men. But where did he go? Why was he taken? And more importantly, was his departure just the beginning of something greater? Enoch lived before the Great Flood, in an era when divine beings roamed the earth and corruption spread among men. The Nephilim, offspring of fallen angels, ruled over humanity. Darkness was rising. Yet instead of facing destruction, Enoch was removed, taken beyond the reach of time itself. What made him different? Why was he chosen? While Noah was spared to rebuild the world, Enoch was taken away entirely. Could it be that he had uncovered a secret too powerful for mankind to know? For centuries, the book of Enoch remained hidden, cast aside as too dangerous for the common person to read. In its pages, a shocking revelation emerges. Enoch was not merely taken, he was transformed. He was shown the mysteries of heaven, the fate of fallen angels, and the secrets of creation itself. He saw the imprisonment of the watchers, the punishment of the wicked, and the prophecy of the final judgment. But there is something even more unsettling. The book of Enoch suggests that he was changed, no longer just human, but something else entirely. If this is true, then Enoch was not just taken, he was elevated beyond mortality. His disappearance was not an end, but a transformation. Was he the first member of an immortal lineage, hidden from the eyes of mankind? Unlike Elijah, who was taken in a fiery chariot, but is prophesied to return. Enoch has no recorded end, no death, no prophecy of his return. Yet in the New Testament, his name appears in a chilling passage. Jude 1:14-15 states, "Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment on all." Could this mean that Enoch, or those like him, will return at the end of time? If so, what role will he play in the final judgment? If Enoch was taken, but never declared dead, could he still exist somewhere, beyond the reach of time? Could he have been the first of a hidden lineage, a deathless tribe preserved by God? If the immortal tribe is real, could Enoch be watching, waiting for the moment when he must return? But Enoch was not the only one to be taken. Another prophet would later ascend in a fiery chariot, carried away in a spectacle of divine power. If Enoch was the first, could Elijah be the second? And if both never died, what does that mean for the rest of us? The mystery only deepens from here. Stay with us as we uncover the truth about Elijah, the second man who defied death, the prophet who ascended in fire. For centuries the sky has held a secret, a moment witnessed by men, yet understood by none. A prophet ascended not by death, but by fire. His name was Elijah, and he was never seen again. 2 Kings 2:11 states, "Suddenly a chariot of fire with horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind." No grave, no tomb. Elijah was taken. But where? And why? Elijah was no ordinary prophet. He called down fire from heaven, parted rivers, and defied kings. But he also knew his time was ending. Before his ascension, he walked with his disciple Elisha, testing his loyalty. 3 times he told Elisha to stay behind, and 3 times Elisha refused. He sensed something beyond human understanding was about to happen. Then, before Elisha's very eyes, the heavens opened. A chariot of fire descended, and Elijah was taken in a whirlwind. No one ever saw him again. Elisha was left in awe and in fear. He had witnessed something beyond human comprehension. But what truly happened that day? Elijah's story mirrors that of Enoch. Both men walked closely with God. Both were taken alive. Both disappeared without experiencing death. Hebrews 11:5 states about Enoch, "By faith Enoch was taken so that he did not see death and was not found because God had taken him." 2 men removed from the world, never seen again. Could they be part of a hidden order, a divine plan that has yet to be fulfilled? If death was the destiny of all mankind, why were these 2 exceptions made? Unlike Enoch, Elijah's return is not a mystery, it is a prophecy. The Bible makes it clear Elijah will come back before the final judgment. Malachi 4:5 states, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the great and dreadful day of the Lord." This prophecy haunted generations. Even during Jesus' time, people wondered Elijah returned. When John the Baptist began preaching, many asked if he was Elijah. The world was waiting. If Elijah never died, then where is he? Was he taken to a realm beyond human sight? Has he been waiting through the ages, watching as history unfolds? Or is he still among us, hidden, unseen, waiting for his time to return? The book of Revelation speaks of 2 witnesses who will appear in the last days, prophets with the power to call down fire, stop the rain, and unleash plagues upon the earth. Revelation 11:3-6 states, "I will give power to my 2 witnesses. If anyone wants to harm them, fire proceeds from their mouth and devours their enemies." Many believe these witnesses will be Moses and Elijah. But what if one of them is Enoch? Could it be that these 2 men, taken without death, were preserved for this final battle? If so, then Elijah's mission is far from over. 2 men taken, one prophesied to return. A mystery that defies time itself. But what if there was another? A figure even more mysterious, a man without birth, without death, without origin. The priest-king without beginning or end. Through the pages of history, kings have ruled and fallen, priests have risen and faded. But one man does not follow this pattern. He appears from nowhere, rules as both king and priest, and then vanishes without a trace. Hebrews 7:3 states, "Without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God, remains a priest forever." Melchizedek. A priest, a king, a man outside of time. Melchizedek appears only once in the Old Testament, in a moment shrouded in mystery. He arrives without introduction and departs without explanation. Genesis 14:18-20 tells us, "Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was the priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram." Abraham, God's chosen servant, bows before him and offers tithes. This was an act of submission, acknowledging Melchizedek's divine authority. But who was this priest? Why did he hold a position that should not have existed yet? And why does Scripture say he had no beginning or end? Every biblical figure has a lineage. Every prophet has a family. But Melchizedek has none. Some argue that he was merely a righteous king. But how can a mortal man have no recorded birth, no ancestry, and no death? If he was simply a man, then why was Jesus later declared a priest in his order rather than that of Aaron or Levi? Hebrews 5:6 states, "You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek." Could it be that Melchizedek was not just a king, but an eternal being placed in history for a divine mission? The absence of a recorded death is troubling. Every great biblical figure has a final chapter, but Melchizedek does not. If he truly had no beginning or end, then where is he now? Could he have been removed just like Enoch and Elijah? Some ancient writings suggest that Melchizedek never perished, that he was preserved beyond human sight, waiting for the appointed time. If this is true, then he too may be part of the Immortal Tribe. The Bible speaks of an end-time priesthood, a group set apart by God to reign in the final days. Revelation chapter 1:6 states, "And he has made us kings and priests to his God and Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever." Could it be that Melchizedek was the first of these eternal priests? Is he still among us, unseen, waiting for prophecy to unfold? A priest without a past, a king without a kingdom, a man without a known beginning or end. But what if the Immortal Tribe was larger than we thought? What if there were others beings who were never meant to exist? The hybrids that defied heaven and earth. For centuries, whispers of giants, demigods, and forbidden bloodlines have echoed through history. Stories of beings too powerful, too unnatural to belong in this world. But what if these were not myths? What if the Bible itself holds proof of their existence? Genesis 6:4 states, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came to the daughters of men and bore children to them. They were the mighty men of old, men of renown, the Nephilim, a race that was never meant to exist, a bloodline that blurred the boundary between heaven and earth." The Bible reveals that the sons of God took human women as wives, and their offspring were unlike anything the world had ever seen. They were giants, warriors, beings of supernatural strength. Jude 1:6 describes their fathers. "And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own habitation, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day." These sons of God were not human. They were fallen angels, divine beings who defied the laws of creation. Their punishment was severe, but what about their children? Did the Nephilim perish completely, or did some of them escape judgment? The timing is no coincidence. Immediately after the Nephilim appeared, God sent the great flood. Genesis 6:5-7 states, "The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the earth." Many believe the flood was not just about human sin, it was a reset, a way to erase the Nephilim from history. But Genesis 6:4 holds a chilling clue. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward. Afterward? If some Nephilim survived, where did they go? After the flood, we see traces of giants appearing again. Numbers 13:33 states, "We saw the Nephilim there, the descendants of Anak came from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." The Nephilim were still present in the land of Canaan. The Israelites feared them. Did they escape the flood? Or did something or someone preserve them? Were the Nephilim part of the Immortal Tribe? Every other member of the Immortal Tribe, Enoch, Elijah, Melchizedek, as chosen by God. But the Nephilim were different. They were not meant to exist. They were born outside of God's plan, a corruption of divine order. But what if some of them achieved what no human ever could? What if some Nephilim were not just giants, but something more, beings that could not die? Some ancient texts suggest that Nephilim bloodlines never fully disappeared, that their descendants continued to walk the earth, hidden in the shadows, influencing history from behind the veil. If they were truly part of an immortal lineage, then could they still exist today? Matthew 24:37 states, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man." This prophecy suggests that the events before the flood, including the presence of Nephilim, will happen again in the final days. A forbidden bloodline, a race wiped from history, yet never truly gone. But what if their influence never ended? What if the Nephilim still walk among us today? The final members of the Immortal Tribe. Throughout history, men have lived and died. Kings have ruled and fallen. But the Bible speaks of a group that will never taste death. A chosen few who will be sealed by God, untouched by the destruction of the final days. Revelation 7:4 states, "Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel." Who are the 144,000? Are they the last members of the Immortal Tribe? Or do they serve an even greater purpose? The book of Revelation describes a future of chaos, wars, famine, plagues, and supernatural disasters. Yet in the midst of this destruction, 144,000 individuals will be sealed and protected. Revelation 9:4 states, "They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads." This seal is not just a mark, it is a divine shield. Nothing can touch them. No force can destroy them. But why are they chosen? And what is their mission? The 144,000 are described as being from the 12 tribes of Israel. But is this meant to be taken literally? Or could it mean something deeper, a spiritual lineage that goes back to the very first immortals? Revelation 14:4 states, "These are the ones who have not been defiled with women, for they are virgins. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They have been redeemed from mankind as first fruits to God and the Lamb." This description suggests they are set apart, different from ordinary humans. Could they be part of a divine bloodline that has existed for thousands of years? The Bible has already revealed individuals who never saw death: Enoch, Elijah, Melchizedek. And then there are those whose existence defies explanation, like the Nephilim. Could the 144,000 be the final piece of the puzzle? Could they be descendants of the Immortal Tribe, preserved through history for the end times? Or are they something entirely different? The first generation of a new race, created by God to survive the final judgment. The book of Revelation describes a final war, not just between nations, but between two opposing forces. Revelation 12:17 states, "Then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring, those who keep God's commandments and hold fast their testimony about Jesus." Many believe this refers to a battle between the forces of God and the forces of darkness. If the 144,000 are on one side, who is on the other? Throughout history, civilizations have spoken of ancient bloodlines, secret societies, and hidden rulers controlling the fate of mankind. Could the enemy of the 144,000 have already been preparing their own army in the shadows? If the 144,000 are chosen before the end times, could they already be living among us? Are they being prepared, trained, and protected? waiting for the moment they will be revealed. Could they be watching history unfold, knowing that their time is near? A sealed army, a hidden lineage, a battle waiting to begin. But what if this is not just about the past, but about us? What if the final war is already here and you are part of it? Stay with us as we reveal the final mystery, the truth about your role in this battle. The final warning. Where are they now? For centuries, whispers of an immortal tribe have echoed through history. Men who never tasted death, hidden bloodlines, and those sealed for the final days. But if this is all true, where are they now? Luke 8:17 states, "For nothing is secret that will not be revealed, nor anything hidden that will not be known and come to light." Has the time come for their return? Or have they been here all along, watching, waiting? The Bible gives us clear evidence of individuals who escaped death. Enoch was taken. Elijah ascended. Melchizedek had no beginning or end. The Nephilim were erased, yet their bloodline persisted. The 144,000 are chosen for the final battle. If these individuals were removed, then where did they go? Were they taken to a hidden realm? Were they scattered across time, waiting for the appointed hour? Or have they been walking among us all along? Revelation chapter 11, 3-6 speaks of two final witnesses. "And I will give power to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. If anyone tries to harm them, fire proceeds from their mouth and devours their enemies." Many believe these witnesses could be Enoch and Elijah, returning in the last days. If so, what else has been hidden, waiting for its time to be revealed? The Bible describes a coming great deception, a time when the world will be blinded by lies and the truth will be concealed. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 warns us, "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed." If the immortal tribe truly exists, why have they been hidden? Are they concealing themselves to avoid being discovered by the forces of darkness? Could their enemies also be preparing, waiting for the final moment to strike? If these beings have truly been preserved, then they must be somewhere. Could they be in another dimension beyond human sight? Could they be watching from the heavens, awaiting the signal to return? Or could they be hidden among us, living in secrecy, their identities unknown? Matthew 24:37 warns us, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man." This means history is repeating itself. Just as Nephilim once walked the earth, just as the flood was sent to reset mankind, something is coming. The world is being prepared. The hidden are about to rise. The final battle is near. But what happens when they finally reveal themselves? What if this revelation changes everything? Stay with us as we uncover the last great mystery, the moment they return. Do you believe the immortal tribe still walks the earth? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more hidden revelation.